The following segment is sponsored by the Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment.
2020 has been a rough one, and it's not over yet. If your day-to-day life is already overwhelming and full of anxiety and stress, you're going to have to de-stress to survive this year. Dr. Ish Major is joining us this morning. Hi, Dr. Ish.
Hey, Margaret. How you doing today?
Good. It's good to see you. The fact is, there's always another storm coming, and we cannot control that. What's happening?
Well, we lost that control, right? And we are our own worst enemy sometimes because we like to forecast the future and we like to run a postmortem on the past. And it helps us miss out on everything that's going on in the present, right? We've got to realize that the past is done. You can't resurrect it, and the future isn't written in stone, but the only thing you can control is taking care of what you're thinking, feeling, and doing right now in the moment. And the best way to do that is to stay present in the moment, is to stay grateful for what's in front of you, right? There's a time to be calm, and then there's a time to be uncomfortable. And we've got to realize that both of those times are okay.
Well, you hit on it that, we're all missing out on the things that used to define us. The jobs where we used to have a physical presence, or for kids, they had the sports or the regular activities that they were participating in. What toll does it take?
Well, the problem is that most of us think that who we are is what we do. So when we're not able to do those things, we feel disconnected from ourselves. And right now, those things are gone for most of us, right? We just don't have those daily reminders that we used to. So we're all having these mini existential crises because we're constantly looking for those external reminders of who we are. But we got to realize that our identity is about, and our ability to feel happy is about an internal process, right? So here's a question that I'm going to ask you guys. If all you are is what you do and what you have, then who are you when you no longer have those things or you can no longer do those things? Everybody's got to ask and answer that question on their own.
Yeah, you've got to look inside for that. You talk about staying present in the moment, how important that is, and holding things that matter close. How do we do that?
Well, you got to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, right? It sounds simple, it sounds super corny, but it's really, really not. Before your feet hit the floor every morning, I want you to think about 3 things that you're grateful for. Could be anything. What's grateful for you? Kids, partner, health, home, job, food, whatever that is. Whenever you feel anxious, think of another 3 things that you feel grateful for, right? You start to feel anxious when you start to feel like who I am and what I have isn't enough. So cultivating that attitude of gratitude helps keep you firmly planted in the reality that who you are and what you have is more than enough, right? If you doubt that, think about this, the big picture. More than half the people in this world are living on less than $5 a day. If you are watching Margaret and I on a device, on a TV, then you ain't in that half. You're going to be okay.
Yep, that's for sure. And there's something to be said about self-care right now, too. People often put off the things that they need to do to take care of themselves, but they shouldn't put those things off.
Well, you can't, right? And the question is, why would you be doing it? If you don't think you need to take care of yourself, then my take is you don't think you're worth being taken care of. Right? So when you cultivate self-care, you cultivate self-kindness. You learn how to forgive yourself, how to congratulate yourself. Think about this, Margaret. There's nothing in your life that has ever gotten better by you not taking care of yourself. Just not one thing. So at least one time per day, I want you to stop and ask yourself in the moment, what do I need to do to take care of myself right now? And then give yourself that thing that you need. Is it a walk to relax, a hug to feel some love, a nap to feel refreshed, a moment of quiet breathing to feel some peace, a laugh to get a little joy going? And never forget, and I have this problem more than anybody, it's okay to let other people help you take care of you as well.
Well, you can't take care of the people around you if you're not taking care of yourself very well. So definitely something to put ahead. We know a lot of times when people can't manage to feel good anymore, they might resort to substance abuse. How big of an issue is addiction right now?
It's a huge issue, and it's spiking. That's the thing that we're so busy talking about everything else. This one is kind of falling under the radar, but it's huge, right? Think about this. Liquor stores were deemed an essential service at the beginning of this pandemic, right? Because we were going to be looking for some extra numbing medication, right? So when I think of addiction, it is simply a means of compulsive and chronic numbing. That's all we're doing. We can't tolerate feeling uncomfortable, so we're looking for those things to numb up the pain or distract us from the pain that's going on in our life, right? And it could be anything. It doesn't actually have to be a drug. It could be drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, TV, medication, food, sweets, sex, money, work, games, fantasy football, social media, or gossip. I think I hit them all,
Yeah.
right? Whatever those things are, these are the things that help you avoid life. They keep you from being fully present. And to a certain extent, they're good, but once they go overboard, then they keep you from showing up. So at some point, you just got to have the courage to opt in your life. And just imagine what your life would be like if you showed all the way up.
Yeah, those things can't sustain you, so show up.
Right.
Tell us about your work at the Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment these days for people who don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, we're super busy. We use Suboxone to treat pain pill medication and pain pill addiction and heroin addiction. That's what we do. And these days, we're super, super busy, right? Opiate addiction is going through the roof because just like we talked about, we're all looking for something to numb up the pain, and that is literally what opiates do. But the message I want folks to understand is that this isn't something that has to take over your life. This is something that you can get control over a lot easier than you think. You can get the control back, but the first thing you got to do is make the call.
Yep. You say the hardest thing to do is picking up the phone. So
Yep.
I want people to know they can contact the Upstate Center for Addiction Treatment. There's a location, South Pine Street in Spartanburg, another in Anderson. Pick up that phone. It is 651-8116, and you can set an appointment that way. Dr. Ish, thanks so much for being here. We look forward to having you again soon.
Always a pleasure, Margaret. Thank you for having me.